Today we are going to start chapter 6 in the textbook. It's going to be dealing with the prices and how we make decisions based off of different prices and how we actually set prices. There's two essential questions that we're going to have for the chapter. The first one is, how do prices help determine what, how, and for whom to produce? Those three essential questions we talked earlier about in the year. Also, what factors are out there that affect prices? So to start talking about prices, I'm going to get through and talk about something that really affects us on a daily basis. We're going to talk about gasoline prices. So have you ever wondered what causes these never-ending changes to gas prices? Sometimes you blink your eye and all of a sudden the price is 10 cents different. The powerful factors of supply and demand, both gasoline itself and the crude oil that comes before it, used to make it it plays a big part of the prices that you pay at the pump every single day. So I found this really cool. It's actually scenarios, it's both the pro and the con of what would happen to gas prices based off of what we're looking at. So I'm going to go through these pretty quickly with you. First thing is the supply effects. On the left side I have all the supply effects, and on the right side are the demand effects. So the first thing is OPEC, and we've talked about OPEC before, the whole idea of it being a cartel that controls the different prices. So it says the Venezuelan government responds to a labor strike in the state-owned petrol company by firing 18,000 workers and hiring contractors to work the oil fields. This leads to Venezuela's oil production declining. So what would happen with something like that is worldwide you would see the gas prices go up because they're part of the OPEC system. So this shows on here that would raise the prices of gas about 45 cents per gallon. All right, on the right side it shows that there's also seasonal shifts. The more people want it, the more they're willing to pay for it. This summer, the wettest and stormiest one in the last 50 years. Soggy conditions on the beaches and storms that create hazardous conditions on roads and amusement parks. They result in fewer vacation trips while school is out. So that's saying that if people aren't willing to go into the actual going to the beach or going on these different trips, it's going to actually lower the demand because there's not going to be such demand for it. That means that the supply is going to go up. Therefore, the prices are going to go down, meaning that the producers are going to want to get rid of the product at a lower cost for you. So overall, you'd see if these two effects happened at the same time, the prices of gasoline would actually still go up, even though it doesn't seem like you would think that because, again, a foreign country is going to have such an effect on us here in the United States. Next example, the supply effects on prices, tapping new resources. Oil production in the United States has increased greatly in recent years, adding over 2 million barrels per day to the entire oil market. Also, new oil discoveries offshore and Newfoundland increases global totals of oil by an estimated 150 million barrels. That means the sources of North American oil cost much less than international oil. Based off of that, that's going to have a 12 cent. It shows you a 12 cent impact on gas prices, meaning we're going to pay less at the pump. Also, then for the demand aspect, recession realities. During the economic recession, Americans consume less gasoline to save money in their wallets, which means, again, if we're not buying as much gasoline, there's more supply there, which means that the suppliers are going to be willing to get rid of that gasoline at a lower price to try to move the product to make you want to consume more. So again, in this scenario, you would see the price check actually go down, talking about gasoline at about $3.27 a gallon based off of economic estimates. Next, of course, you'll see a disproportionate demand. The United States imported a whopping 1,881,000,000 so-on barrels of Canadian oil in 2012. The cost of transporting the barrels of refineries adds the cost of the final product. So that shows that by having other countries have to do more or make more oil, it's actually going to create more of a expense for us as the consumers. On the other side, it says seasonal shifts. The summer is the wettest and stormiest one in the last 50 years. Again, less trips mean the price are going to go down, and you're going to see that as an impact, meaning that the supply can have a negative impact or a positive impact depending on what we're looking at. I'd say positive from the seller's point, but negative from us are the consumers, the middle class people who are actually consuming that gasoline. A few more examples I'll go through. This shows OPEC's option. The political disagreements among the members of OPEC result in disunity among the major petroleum-producing nations. Without a unified front, the ability to set a limit on the number of barrels and oils pumped decides upon by each country, and overall global supply increases, meaning that if there's more supply out there again, it's going to actually have to lower the cost. So OPEC would be doing themselves a disservice by that, but again, it just happens. On the right side, it shows recession realities. During the economic recession, Americans consume less gasoline. So again, you're going to see the prices continue to fall in that aspect. A couple more examples to go through. Again, weather woes. A tsunami in Japan results in the fall of oil prices globally. The price of oil in Asia fell $1.30 to $1.30 to $104 a barrel, while in the New York mercantile market, oil prices fell $1.68 to $102 a barrel. And in London, the price fell from $1.20 to $114. So when the prices are going down, the prices of the actual crude oil that we're going to use to produce the oil, it's going to actually make our prices go down as well. But then again, on the right side, it's going to show you demand effects. So many markets, new medical techniques increase heart surgery successes. This means that artificial heart valves are made from petroleum-based plastics. They're going to be in high demand, so more petroleum is going to be used in the markets, which means that there's going to be less petroleum available to make gasoline, so therefore that price is going to go up. So by creating a new technology in a field that has nothing to do with gasoline, being able to take that petroleum and use it for a different purpose is going to have a negative effect on us, on our gas prices. And then again, last thing, on the left side, OPEC's option, again, the Venezuela, we talked about that before, the gas prices are going to go up if you have these problems in these OPEC nations. But on the right side, it says going green, despite more and more consumers' interest in the biodiesel fuels, the willingness to drive is not diminishing, meaning that people are still willing to spend money and drive no matter what. So whenever they're willing to spend money, even if it's more expensive, it's going to continue to drive the costs up. That means when you see these other companies who are investing in places like Tesla that has the electric cars, those types of places or those types of cars are going to help eventually to drive the prices of gasoline down, because there's going to be less demand for it, because there's other alternative energies out there, such as electric, which is going to be used in that car. So what I'm going to have you folks do is you're going to go to the next section, which is a journal, and it's going to be a think about it question. We know demands affect gas prices, but how might the rising gas prices affect demand? That's a question I'm going to have you look at. Also, besides that, you're going to look at some different gas prices, and I'm going to take a look at places like Butler, Pennsylvania, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, New York, Miami, Los Angeles. I want you to do some research to see what is the average gas price at each of these locations, and why is there such a giant varying cost whenever you look at the geographic location of these places. I always think about, Pennsylvania, whenever I drive across the border to Ohio, the prices are so much less. Why? Is there a reason? Is the quality of gas worse? Especially in Pennsylvania, where oil was actually discovered, why would the prices of gasoline, the petroleum-based substances, be higher here where we have them? So again, welcome to Chapter 6. The year is coming to a close, so get ready for a nice section.